I built this wooden pirate sword in '09 with a curved cove cut for the profile of the blade and a bent lamination for the guard. And I'll build it again just to make video. Next step is to boil these for a bit to soften them up. I'm just going to let that steam in a bent position for a bit. I'm just going to let these layers dry on top of the heater before I try to glue them up. I really like the exaggerated curve I came up for this thing last time, so I'm just going to trace that same shape onto a board. Here's my cove cutting stop. It's just one point so I can follow the curve, and I got it thoroughly clamped down just in case it ever catches the blade so it can't shoot at me. And the blade is tilted a little bit, which will make it easier to cut in this direction. I went very slow for the last pass to try to get a smooth surface. Let's try and clean that up a bit. Oh yeah, nice and smooth. Now it gets trickier because I just cut this cove along here and I'm already touching the other cove here, but I've got this huge area here that is unsculpted. On this one here I actually did multiple cove cuts to hollow this wider part out and come narrower here. I think this time I'll try just putting it at an angle so that the cove is narrower here than here. The shape is starting to come together. I still have a big flat spot right here. On the old one I have a flat spot right here. On this one I'm going to try to put a shallower cove on top of this one to try to get rid of most of that flatness. I didn't get as nice a finishing pass on this side as on the other side, and it's concave, so difficult to power sand. I think a palm sander would work, but I don't have one, so I'll try my strip sander. I'm using a thin strip of wood to push the sanding belt into the concave part of my cut. I just went from this to this. I guess I can hold off buying a palm sander a little bit longer. I'm not happy with how pointed this came out, so I'm going to make this again. Shit. I just added another block here to force that into a less pointy shape. And let's boil that some more. After that I baked it in the oven to dry it. Because of the lengthy exposure to heat in that bent state, there's hardly any spring back at all. So how is it that the first one ended up a bit more pointy and the second one more round? It's all a matter of how I apply the bending moment. So if I just bend it by squeezing the ends, the bending moment is proportional to how far from the squeezing point I am, which means this part here will see the most curvature and much less so here. Whereas if instead of just squeezing the ends, I actually apply sort of a turning bending moment, then the curve ends up much closer to circular. And that was the whole idea of screwing the ends to this piece of 2x4. Before I put this thing together, I'm going to paint some parts of it. I'm hoping this rust paint will give it the sort of metallic shine that I'm looking for. This rust paint took forever to dry, and I painted the handle. Final step is a clear coat to bring out the shine. So these are just props, but I'm sure they'll get plenty beat up by the time the kids get a little bigger. Yarr!